Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Aruwell, and Teachwell. And peace and salutation unto the elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And the title of this video is going to be Wisdom Exalted Her Children. Okay, which is inspired by the book of Ecclesiasticus, or better known as Sirach, the fourth chapter in the 11th verse. All right, which I have right here up on the screen. This is Sirach chapter 4 verse 1. It says, "Wisdom exalted her children, and layeth hold of them that seek her." All right, yeah, because we as the hopeful elect of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai of the nation of Israel, okay, we are the ones that have been given the wisdom and knowledge of the Lord via the Holy Spirit sent on down by the Most High, okay, through his begotten Son, his right hand, Yahweh Shai. Okay, we're the ones that have been given, all right, the wisdom of these scriptures here in these latter days. Okay, the wisdom that has us, walking in the Spirit. Okay, keeping the commandments of the Lord to the best of our ability. Okay, coming back to obedience to the Father. Okay, to be sons of God. All right, once again. Okay, and to ultimately seek favor from the Lord and the mercies of David. Okay, all those things come with wisdom. All right, because as the scriptures speaks about Proverbs the 8th chapter, wisdom, gold, wisdom is not to be anything compared to gold or silver, roughly paraphrasing it, because wisdom is more valuable, okay, than gold or silver, and more precious than rubies and things like that. All right, because this wisdom is the spiritual riches. All right, the spiritual riches which the elect are going to cash out in these latter days. Okay, for us to inherit the kingdom of heaven. All right, and so this wisdom is going to get us as the hopeful elect exalted by Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai in these latter days. Okay, before all these prophecies are said and done. All right, it says Ecclesiasticus chapter 4 verse 11, "Wisdom exalteth her children, and layeth hold of them that seek her." Okay, yeah, wisdom exalts her children. And the children, of course, being ultimately the nation of Israel, but it's going to start with the elect, the ones that have been given first are the wisdom of the Lord. Okay, and Lord willing, I be of that number. All right, through this wisdom, the Lord is going to exalt us and make known who are his chosen in these latter days. Okay, let's get a few precepts. All right, because the scripture speaks about, I believe that's in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 8th chapter, in about the first verse, if I'm not mistaken. It speaks about how wisdom makes a man's face to shine. So we that are of the hopeful elect, okay, in these latter days, making our bodies a living sacrifice, and obeying the Lord and keeping his commandments to the best of our abilities. Hey, you best believe, when the time of Jacob's trouble come, our faces are going to shine in that day. All right, and it's going to be made known that we are the Lord's chosen, and that he's dealing with us. Lord willing, I be of that number. Okay, but this is Job chapter 5. Job chapter 5, and I'm going to start at verse 8. It says, "I would seek unto the Most High, and unto the Most High would I commit my cause, which doeth great things and unsearchable, marvelous things without numbers." Yeah, the Lord does, many miracles, many blessings, Okay, he's going to lift up a standard for his elect. Okay, send the archangel Michael down to protect the elect when the time of Jacob's trouble come. All right, and as well, many more marvelous things and miracles that the Lord is gonna perform for the elect. It says, verse 10, who giveth rain upon the earth and sendeth waters upon the fields. Now here's the point. Verse 11, to set up on high those that be low. All right, yeah, to set up on high those that be low. The scriptures tell you in Ecclesiastes 10, the rich sit in low places. All right, which the rich ultimately being the nation of Israel, because we're in captivity right now. All right, but primarily the elect. Okay, because the elect are the ones that have the true riches, the spiritual riches, which is this knowledge and wisdom, that are currently sitting in low places. We're still in captivity. We're worn out. Okay, and we're crying out to the Lord day in and day out to send His begotten Son Yahweh Shai back to ultimately deliver us. All right, but it says Job 5 verse 11, to set up on high those that be low, that those which mourn may be exalted to safety. And so we're mourning to the Lord so that He can exalt us to safety. Deliver us out of the hand of our enemies throughout the four corners of the earth. And that's why we seek His wisdom and His knowledge. Okay, to ultimately come back to the Lord and understand why we're in the conditions that we're in, and to understand what we have to do to get out of these conditions. All right, let's get another one. Psalms 37. Psalms 37, verse 34. It says, wait on the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and keep His way. All right, keep His way. Keep His commandments to the best of our abilities in His grace period. It says, and He shall exalt thee to inherit the land. And what is the land that we're going to inherit? The land of Israel. Okay, starting with Jerusalem, which was, the garden east of Eden. Because, all throughout, history, the chosen people of the Lord, starting with Adam and the sons of God, always, fell short of the glory of the Lord because of what? Disobedience. Okay, and we were constantly, because of that disobedience, we were constantly, always being kicked out of the garden. All right, Jerusalem. Adam was kicked out of the garden. The sons of God were, kicked out of the Holy Land. Okay, and ultimately flooded out. Save, Noah and his family. Okay, and then all the way down to, King Solomon. Solomon, through Solomon's sins. Okay, the nation split into two kingdoms. All right, and eventually throughout, the rest of the wicked kings of Judah that came up after Solomon, all the way down to Zedekiah, we were ultimately, kicked out of Jerusalem again by the Babylonians. All right, had the temple sacked. We were taken into captivity. All right, and then later on, throughout down the line in history, in 70 A.D., the Romans came and sacked Jerusalem and took down the temple, and our people were once kicked out of the garden again, and we haven't been back to the Holy Land to this very day. Okay, so through us as the hopeful elect, okay, waiting upon the Lord and keeping His ways, keeping His law, statutes, commandments to the best of our abilities, as well as believing on the sacrifice of His begotten Son Yahweh Shai, to cover our transgressions. Okay, and as well, making our bodies a living sacrifice under Yahweh Shai's sacrifice. Okay, the Lord is going to exalt us to eventually inherit the land, all right, inherit the garden once again. But, this time for all eternity, because we're going to inherit, all right, the Holy Land, all right, in the kingdom of heaven. So it says, Psalms 37, verse 34, wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. Yeah, the wicked being these heathen nations and their governments and their rulerships, but primarily the main number one heathen nation, which would be the nation of Esau, Edom. Okay, the Edomites are going to be cut off, and we will never see the Edomites ever again after 1,000 years in the kingdom of heaven, because Yahweh Shai and the angels are going to come back, to cut off their rulership, all right, this beast system, as well as the agenda of this beast system, which is what, the Charagma, all right, the NWO, to have everybody chipped, all right, and tracked, so that everybody's thoughts and feelings and emotions and ultimately their souls will be on one big digital grid and cloud. All right, the Lord is going to cut off the wicked devices and imaginations of these heathen nations, primarily the nation of Esau, Edom. Okay, and after 1,000 years in the kingdom, after the Lord takes down the rulership of these Edomites and the rest of these heathen nations. All right, we're going to have the heathen nations enslaved for the first 1,000 years in the kingdom of heaven, and after that 1,000 years, as it says at the latter end of verse 34 right here, or better yet, after that first 1,000 years in the kingdom, all right, the biblical Edomites will be completely cut off, all right, and annihilated as a nation, all right. And the rest of these heathen nations, Moab, Ham, Ishmael, so on and so forth, they're going to continue on the planet Earth, but they're going to have to pay tribute unto us and bless us in order, if they want to be blessed. Okay, but the biblical Edomites will be a curse forever and ever, because they're going to be cut off, and completely decimated in after the first 1,000 years in the kingdom. So yeah, Psalms 37:34 again, wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. All right, let me get one more. Then after that, I'm going to go back to Sirach, the 4th chapter. All right. Psalms chapter 75, verse 10. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off. All right, going back to what I just read in Psalms 37 and 34, right? It says, Psalm 75 and 10, all the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. All right, so the horns of the righteous, the elect, all right, the nation of Israel, starting with the elect of Israel, the Lord is going to exalt in these latter days, under his begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, of course. All right, so let's go back to Sirach 4 and 11. Wisdom exalteth her children, and layeth hold of them that seek her. Verse 12, he that loveth her loveth life. He that loves wisdom loves life, because as it says in the book of Philippians 2 in verse 16, Philippians 2 and 16, the Apostle Paul refers to the words of these scriptures as the word of life. All right, because the things written in this book that we call the Bible, all right, the Holy Bible, the Holy Scrolls, okay, are ultimately life. They push and promote life. Prime example, look at the laws of Yahweh Shem Shai written in the scriptures. Okay, laws that tell you, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not covet your neighbor, honor your father and mother, all right, so on and so forth. Don't be don't be a whore, don't be a sodomite, don't be a transformer. Okay, laws on how to take care of the land, dietary laws, so on and so forth. So many laws that, if those laws in the scriptures were implemented today in this society, okay, this world would not be in a state that it's in right now, which is, total and complete chaos. Basically a world of death, because that's, ultimately what you see the people of this world boasting in right now, starting with, with the rulers of this world. Everything is all about death, death. Do as thou wilt, and do everything that you can to ultimately destroy yourself, whether it be physically, mentally, spiritually. Okay, everything is all about in this current world. Everything is all about just rebelling against the Heavenly Father and His Son. Okay, and look at the fruits of that mindset. Okay, just total death and diseases and infirmity. Okay, but the beauty is, we as the hopeful elect, we're the ones that have been called and returned to the words of Yahweh Shem Shai, okay, which brings us to life. It brings us out of that dry bone state. All right, and it quickens us, because the words of these scriptures are the words of life, pursuant to Philippians 2:16. All right, so it says, Sirach 4 verse 12 again, he that loveth her, wisdom, loveth life, and they that seek her early shall be filled with joy. Yeah, so those that seek her early, such as us, okay, we're filled with joy, because the words of these scriptures comforts us. It tells us that all the wickedness that we're sighing and crying against, all these abominations that we're sighing and crying against, all right, are soon getting ready to be ridded out of the planet Earth by the Lord. Okay, and that there's a great judgment coming to these wicked people of the world, especially the people of this society that has had a major hand in destroying our people. That's what brings us so much joy with this word. It comforts us, and it lets us know why everything that we see going on in the world is happening, and what's getting ready to happen down the line. All right, so let's get a quick precept, because it says right here at the latter part of this 12th verse, and they that seek to her early shall be filled with joy. Right? So let's get a quick precept out of Wisdom of Solomon. All right, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6. All right, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 14. Okay, because this whole entire chapter, when you read it, it speaks about wisdom, and the beauty of wisdom, and so on and so forth, right? So Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 14. It says, whoso seeketh her early, the her being wisdom. It says, whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors. So whoso seeketh her early, which are the elect, are gonna have no great travail, because it's going to be the rest of this world that are going to be catching hell when the time of Jacob's trouble come. Okay, also known as the tribulation period, spoken of in the New Testament. Okay, when all hell breaks loose in this society, the people of this world that boast against the wisdom of the Lord, they're the ones that's going to be in great travail. But the elect that seek the wisdom of the Lord early, okay, they're the ones that's going to be in good case. Okay, they're going to be fed. They're going to be, the Lord is going to make sure that they have a roof over their head, clothes up on their back, all right, warm, all right, have provision, okay, and Lord willing, I be of that number. We that are of the hopeful elect, that are, really and truly sincere about this truth and take it serious. All right, we're not gonna have, great travail when the time of Jacob's trouble come. Okay, because we seek the wisdom of the Lord. As a matter of fact, in Isaiah 33:6, it tells you that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. Okay, so this wisdom keeps us stable throughout anything that we encounter in life. Okay, upon waking up to this truth. Okay, so let's go back to Sirach. Matter of fact, let's read that again. Wisdom of Solomon 6 verse 14. Whoso seeketh her early, wisdom, shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors. The doors of your mind. Just as, pursuant to Revelation 3, where Yahushua said, roughly paraphrasing it, he's knocking at the door, okay, and if we answer and open up the door, that Yahushua would sup with us. Well, what is Yahushua supping with us? This wisdom and his knowledge. Okay, so whosoever seeks wisdom early, okay, is gonna find her sitting at his doors in the form of what? Yahushua, sitting at the door of our mind. All we have to do is just open up. Okay, and Yahushua is gonna sup this wisdom upon us. All right, so let's go back to Sirach 4 and 12. Sirach 4 and 12. He that loveth her loveth life, and they that seek to her early shall be filled with joy. Yeah, shall have no great travail. All right, verse 13. Verse 13. He that holdeth her fast shall inherit glory. Yep, the kingdom of heaven. And wheresoever she entereth, the Lord will bless. And so whatever door wisdom enters, are the doors of our minds, the Lord is going to bless us. He's going to sup with us, right? Verse 14, they that serve her shall minister to the Holy One, and them that love her, the Lord doth love. Yeah, they that serve her, wisdom, are going to minister to the Holy One, all right, the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh Shem Shai. And when you think of, those that minister unto the Lord, right? Of course, in the heavens, you think of Yahweh Shai, of course, as well as, the holy angels. But on earth, who were the ones, responsible for ministering unto the Lord on earth according to that old covenant, the Levitical priests, all right, the priesthood. After the priesthood of Aaron, the high priest, according to the old covenant. All right, so they that serve wisdom in this current time, okay, are going to be ministers to Yahweh Shem Shai, or in other words, what are going to be priests to Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, and that's what Yahweh Shai sacrifice opened up, for all 12 tribes, okay, all of the men of the 12 tribes of Israel, okay, starting with the elect men, of course, okay, now have an opportunity to be priests, okay, or ministers to the Lord, all right, through this wisdom, because when you read Exodus, the 19th chapter, and around about the 5th or 6th verse, Moses speaks about how the Lord, wanted us as a nation to be a a nation of priests. Okay, a nation of priests. Now, under that old covenant, was that ultimately fulfilled under that old covenant? No, of course not, because under the old covenant, it was only the Levites. Okay, after the order of Aaron, that were appointed priests amongst our nation. So now, in order for us as a nation, to be priests unto the Lord, when would that ultimately be fulfilled? It will be fulfilled under Yahweh sacrifice. Okay, going into the new covenant. All right, because in the new covenant, when we have the law, statutes, commandments written in our inward parts, with the new bodies, okay, that's when we're ultimately, as all 12 tribes, all of the men of the 12 tribes of Israel, that's when we're going to fully be an entire nation of priests to the Lord. All right. So it says, Sirach 4:14, they that serve her shall minister to the Holy One, and them that love her the Lord doth love. Verse 15, whoso giveth ear unto her shall judge the nations, and he that attendeth unto her shall dwell securely. Yep, so whosoever gives ear unto wisdom is going to judge the nations. And again, the elect, starting with the 144,000 of the elect, which is going to be the 12,000 men out of all 12 tribes that are going to serve as the governing body of the nation of Israel under Yahushua in the kingdom. Okay, Lord willing, I be of that number of the 144,000. Okay, through us, giving ear to the wisdom of the Lord, via listening to his prophets, taking heed, all right, listening to the Lord's apostles. Okay, we're going to be amongst, the first fruits in the kingdom to judge over the nations, as the tabernacle of David. We're going to rule over these nations with a rod of iron. Okay, and we're going to rule over the nations through wisdom. Because right now, the current rulers of this world, they operate, against the wisdom and the knowledge of the Lord. They boast in their own, man-made artificial, wisdom and artificial pseudoscience and pseudo technology. Okay, the scriptures tell you in Sirach the 19th chapter that the knowledge of wisdom, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. All right, that's in Sirach the 19th chapter. Okay, and it also tells you in Sirach the 10th chapter that an unwise king destroyed his people. So we, as the hopeful 144,000, we're going to rule the earth with wisdom and prudence. Okay, and the people of the world are not going to be destroyed. All right, because they're going to be ruled over under a righteous rulership. All right. Sirach 4 verse 15 again, whoso giveth ear unto her shall judge the nations, and he that attendeth unto her shall dwell securely. Yeah, so the Lord has given us his wisdom, because as it tells you in Isaiah 1 and I believe verse 26, that the Lord would restore our judges as at the beginning. Okay, restore the Alahayim, all right, the sons of God that were back there with Yahushua during the time of creation, helping Yahushua create everything that we see, all right, around us. Okay, the Most High is going to restore that order once again, and it's starting with the rebuilding of the house of David, or the tabernacle of David. Okay, through this word, going out, all right. And through this word going out, through this wisdom, all right, we're going to judge the nations once again, but forever and ever and ever. Okay. Real quick, let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon, the 6th chapter. All right, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 9. It says, "Unto you, therefore, O kings," okay, O kings, talking about us as the hopeful elect, because through Yahweh Shai's sacrifice, we're going to be made kings and priests, okay, under, the ultimate king and priest, Yahweh Shai, after the order of Melchizedek, all right, Malak Tazadok, righteous king, right? Wisdom of Solomon 6, verse 9. It says, "Unto you, therefore, O kings, do I speak, that ye may learn wisdom." See that? That we may learn wisdom. Okay, because we're gonna judge the earth through wisdom. We're gonna restore clean water, clean food, clean air. All right, clean organic, clean organic family structures. Once again, putting women in their place, putting men in their place, putting children in their place. Okay, and we're going to restore the earth, back to its, strength once again. All right, through through a righteous, wise rulership. It says, "Unto you, therefore, O kings, do I speak, that ye may learn wisdom and not fall away." See that? Because, that was, the main thing that always plagued the chosen people of the Lord, going all the way back to the sons of God, starting with Adam. We always fell away. We had the wisdom and knowledge of the Lord, to be kings and to judge over the nations and judge the planet Earth. But, we always allowed the flesh to get the best of us. So therefore, we constantly kept, falling away from, from the wisdom of the Lord, which would eventually lead us to falling away from, our, kingship and dominion over the planet Earth. All right, but, now we as the hopeful elect, we've been, given the wisdom via the Holy Spirit. All right, for us to be brought back to our, righteous place as kings and judges over the planet Earth. All right, under Yahweh Shai, of course. Okay, and eventually, be initiated into the new covenant, with the law, statutes, commandments written in our inward parts, with those, new bodies fashioned like unto Yahweh Shai's body. Okay, so that we'll never fall away ever and ever again for all eternity. All right, and that's that's what this wisdom pretty much walks us into. Pretty much everything that I just said, and then more. We're going back to our first estate as the sons of God. All right, back into paradise, back into the garden. Where we were always constantly getting kicked out of. All right, let's go down to in the same chapter. Let's go down to verse 21. It says, "If your delight be in thrones and scepters," okay, so if you desire to be a king, basically a ruler, right? If your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore. All right, yeah. So honor wisdom. All right, the wisdom of Yahweh Shema Shai is above any and all, okay, precious things on the planet Earth. All right, because this wisdom goes all the way back to the heavens, before the foundation of the planet Earth. Okay, and through this wisdom, it gives us, the perfect, the perfect, blueprint on how to, righteously rule over the planet Earth and rule over the people. Okay, if if you desire to have that position in the first place, and of course, we as the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, we most certainly desire to have that position once again, okay, forever in the kingdom. To be kings and judges, all right, to have, thrones over the nations. All right, but it's all going to start with us honoring wisdom. Okay, as the title of the title of this video is, wisdom exalted her children. All right, so I'm ending it off right there. All right, Lord willing, this video was edifying, and until next time, shalom.